There's a lot of reasons that we thought sustainability was important for us and for the industry. First of all, sustainability is about core values, who you are, what you stand for, and what's important. And it's clear to us, and I think clear to our customers, clear to the younger generation, that sustainability is going to be very important in terms of companies and how they're approaching the market. It used to be that sustainability was much more expensive than the alternative. Today, that has changed. And in fact, there's no reason not to do this. There are people today who are more interested, and honestly, there are people who are less interested in sustainability. And for those who are less interested, I think there's a number of ways to approach it. One is you can talk about the fact that going forward, this is going to be much more important to younger generations. Everybody has some AI tool they like to use, ChatGPT, Perplexity, Google, and Gemini. Look up how younger generations think about sustainability and how they see this as a core value. And if you're looking for brand continuity, this is easy to build in, and it doesn't have to be more expensive than what you're doing today. The cost of sustainability has come way down from where it was before. So not only is it ultimately a good thing for the brand, but it's something that doesn't have to be more expensive, and that's going to really appeal to at least some segment of their population. So there's no reason not to do it. And on the other side, from a defensive standpoint, if you think about somebody coming in and selling against you, you at least want to have the conversation with your customer, and you want to be educating them about sustainability, about good practices, and where things are going. And this can be a very positive message about what their brand stands for and what the product that you're giving to them as a solution stands for as well. I will tell you that if I am trying to take a program from somebody else, and I know there's PVC in the program, and I know there's PFAS in the program, I don't do this because we don't compete for programs, but the first thing I would say to the brand, especially if it's a Fortune 5000 brand, is why are you using this? Because there are alternatives out there, and there are almost no consumer brands out there today that are using chemicals like PVC. And everybody's eliminating PFAS, and there are going to be lawsuits. So even just from a defensive standpoint, making sure that you understand these and are eliminating these is super important in terms of being a really good brand steward for your end user customers.
Responsible sourcing to me is locating partners that adhere to high ethical, environmental, and safety standards, and that really align with our ideals inside of our company. And then I think to make the full circle, it's making sure we're having a audit practice around that to validate that. We can't be there all the time, but we need to validate that they're doing the right things in their community with their employees that make them the right partner.
Responsible materials, really you think, again, go back to the buckets. So you might have recycled materials like rPET, which is recycled polyester, if you didn't know what that meant. You can have something that's a natural fiber material, so you might have bamboo or acacia wood, even better if it's certified, meaning that by FSC or an organization like that. And then you can do things like, reducing single-use plastics, because you're removing things that otherwise would end up in a landfill. So if we're using water bottles, we're using coffee containers, we're using shopping bags, and really focusing on the products that are intended for that use. Impact can be broken down into many different ways. You can look at it, the impact on people, the impact on the environment, and impact that products make as well. So making sure you're not putting out landfill in the promotional products industry. With people, how are you giving back to the community that you're in? How are you giving back to the larger global community, whether that's donations or give back programs or time. And it can also be how you're treating the environment. Are you doing things that have less chemicals in them, that are, that biodegrade ultimately is what you want. So there's many tentacles here. I think it's, they're big buckets, and there's lots of ways that you can do it.
It's becoming more and more important in the business world. And, take any Fortune 50 company, they have goals out there. Those goals are set to reduce their own carbon impact. And that doesn't change for the promotional world. So from a selling standpoint, the focus can be on what their goals are and how we can add to supporting those goals. A product that has a carbon footprint that's lower, recycled materials, lower carbon footprint. So how do you align with groups that have that data so that you can take it to your end consumer and help them reach their CSR goals?
And the other thing for me personally, it's when you go home, what do you tell your family? What does your family think about what it is that you do every day? Are you making something that not only you can be proud of, not only the people in the company can be proud of, not only the brand can be proud of, not only the recipient who's going to be using that every day can be proud of, but that you can go home and talk to your family and they know that you're making the absolute best product, the most responsible product, made in the best way we know how to make, that is out there. And that's who we want to be. When I think about Nadel, I think about a family business in a really strong community. And in a community like that, an area like sustainability becomes especially important and especially relevant, not only to their end user customers, but to the Nadel community as well.